Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting and our guest is Marianne Yeager from the Sequoia Project. Welcome, Marianne.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So, big announcement of the QHINs this week. Talk to us. What's your reaction to the announcement of the first official QHINs?
Well, first, it's exciting to be able to celebrate this important milestone with an initial group of QHINs who went live this week, who'll begin sharing medical records as we speak. The first transactions took place last night and expanded even more this morning. I think what's also exciting is that it marks the beginning of a really important chapter. Not only will we see connectivity grow with this group of QHINs and networks, we also have others in the queue who are getting ready to go live as well. And so what this really marks for us as a country is the beginning of real, truly public-private nationwide exchange of health information.
Awesome. And tell us, what's something that people don't understand about QHINs that they should know about?
Well, QHINs are really intended to be very highly resilient, high-performing supernodes, and they, in and of themselves, will serve as the backbone for healthcare interoperability for the U.S. And so I think it's important to know that these are not your average networks. These are really, again, really highly sophisticated, well-resourced, and highly secure networks that, again, will facilitate nationwide interoperability for the U.S.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting and our guest is Rob Klotwijk from Epic. Welcome, Rob.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell me, what's your reaction to becoming a QHIN?
Reaction, one of excitement. You know, the team has worked very hard to get us to this point and to achieve designation by the RCE in collaboration with the ONC over the last few years. It's been a journey and a natural evolution of all the work that we've done over the years to make sure that wherever the patient goes, the record can follow them. So TEFCA is really providing that clarity for all providers in the country on how to achieve nationwide interoperability, and we're excited to be here.
Awesome. And what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
We're here. The construction is complete, I would say. You know, there's been a lot of discussion over the last year or two, and we're now here. So the most important thing to know is that it doesn't really quite matter how you get to the answer of yes for am I part of TEFCA. All the QHINs are connected with each other. We're all capable of making sure that you're also connected. So the most important thing is that you act, you work with your vendors and your communities to understand how you can participate in TEFCA, regardless of the QHIN you end up selecting.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting. Our guest is Dr. John Blair from MedAllies. Welcome, John.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here with you today, John.
Yeah, so tell us, what's your reaction to becoming a QHIN?
Well, I'm elated. I've been at this for 20 years. This was something that I envisioned at least 15 years ago and thought we'd be here in a few years, and now we're here. So this is just the beginning. It's a great jumping off point, and I'm very excited about it.
Awesome. And what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
Well, first of all, I heard from somebody I was talking to yesterday that had a group meeting with a bunch of CIOs, and maybe 2 out of 50 knew what it was. So I think there's a tremendous amount of confusion. It doesn't worry me because I think that'll straighten out over the next year. But it's complicated. You've got multiple networks that will coalesce into one ultimately, and just trying to think about that based on history is not easy for people to understand.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting and our guest is Jay Nakashima from eHealth Exchange. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, what's your reaction to becoming a QHIN?
Well, I think number one, we're thrilled that the government is kickstarting innovation for interoperability. And beyond that, it really opens the doors for the exchange via new use cases. So like one example is public health. So at eHealth Exchange, we're already facilitating exchange of adverse event reactions for FDA via FHIR all across the country. And we're facilitating electronic case reporting all across the country. But the coverage isn't as great as we would like it to be. And so I think TEFCA is really going to help out with that.
Awesome. And what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
I I think it's probably the existing volume. So your average person across the country may not know that eHealth Exchange, as an example, facilitates the exchange of about 20 billion transactions a year. So when you show up at your physician's office and you report what your medications are, there's a good chance your doc office has already retrieved that, and they know what your medications are, your surgical history, and all that good stuff.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting, and our guest is Dave Castle from Health Gorilla. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so tell me, what's your reaction to becoming a QHIN?
Well, it's first of all, it's the culmination of a lot of work for Health Gorilla. We see it as really an important step for our company. Interoperability is our business, and so being able to be part of this initial group was really important to us, and we're happy to be part of it. That said, for me personally, I'd say it goes beyond that, and really is one of those moments where you look at it, even in the moment, this is one of the big high points of my career in terms of being able to see the culmination of so much work over time. I remember being on the Hill in the run-up to the passage of 21st Century Cures, talking about the language in the statute that would ultimately drive TEFCA. And now, more than 7 years later, being able to be, again, at the center of it is personally really gratifying. And you always look, we get into healthcare for a reason, and you look for these ways to be able to feel like you're really making a difference. And I'm feeling that right now about our ability to be part of this and to get the TEFCA ecosystem launched.
Awesome. Congratulations. And tell us, what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
Well, I think there are probably a variety of things people don't understand about QHINs, but I think a couple that I would highlight is, first of all, there are differences between QHINs. We do serve different stakeholders. We have different attributes. And so come talk to us if you're interested in participating, and hopefully you'll find the right match among one of the QHINs. But I'd say beyond that, and maybe a little more philosophically, the people may wonder what the difference is between this effort and previous things that have come before. And those who aren't aware, I was the original executive director at the Care Equality Framework, and was involved in the launch of that effort, was also involved in some ways in some of the early stages of go live at the eHealth Exchange back when it was the Nationwide Health Information Network. So I've seen some of these things, and what I see this time that is different is the unity between the public sector and the private sector. And I think that's critically important, that we're going to actually see the federal government, and with them, I think, is going to come state governments, getting behind the same initiative at the same time as the private sector. And that, I think, is going to be hugely important and really open up a lot of opportunities.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting. Our guest is Laura McCrary from CommonWell. Welcome, Laura.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, so tell us, what's your reaction to becoming a QHIN?
Oh my gosh, we are so excited. It's been a lot of work, and we've really had a lot of challenges in moving through the process. But to hear where we are today is really something very special for us. We know that it's going to be really important for our members to be able to get data from any place that their patients have gotten care at. And actually being able to have that data available is the reason that we've worked for this for so very, very long. We want to make sure that patients can be as safe as they possibly can. And we know that by getting that data into the hands of a doctor or into the hands of a nurse, we'll really achieve that objective.
Awesome. And what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
Well, I think one thing is that people don't understand that QHINs really are going to play a role in many different aspects of healthcare. For example, public health. I think about that right away. One of the things that we already do for our members is alert them when they have a patient that has an infectious disease. For example, MDRO is one of our most recent new alerting mechanisms. So now as a QHIN, we'll be able to do that not only just for our members, but also for all organizations that are a part of a QHIN. So I think that public health, while, a lot of people might not realize that QHINs are going to have an important role in public health, I think it may end up being one of the very most important things that we do as a QHIN.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting. Our guest is Paul Wilder from CommonWell Health Alliance. Welcome, Paul.
Hey, thanks, John. Glad I ran into you.
Yeah, so tell me, what's your reaction to the announcement of the QHINs?
Well, I think it's a great step. So we had TEFCA out there as a concept since, 2016. We've been doing national exchange, CommonWell care quality for a while. And I think we did need to finally get that final destination where everything should be done. It's obvious we're not on the stage with the initial 5. I think a couple of us got a shout out. We're coming along. We do expect to be done the first quarter, probably early February. So we're right on the heels. But, every journey begins with a step, and we're excited to see that our partners are there already.
Awesome. And what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
I think what's interesting that people miss is how different the QHINs are when you actually look at them individually. TEFCA defines the edge, right? The thing that we all must adhere to when we exchange with each other. And so as an analogy, I would think about email. So I have Outlook and Exchange. You might have Gmail. You might have some other thing. Maybe you still have AOL. I don't know. But what that looks like to you on that screen, if you're a Gmail user, and how you manage your calendar, the workflow, the way the conversation view works, all that could be entirely different. But at the edge, that transaction goes through. And we saw back in the history, like at first attachments were hard, and then the workflow of calendar entries were hard, and it got better and better. So TEFCA establishes that common edge, and it has a roadmap going forward to add on those other things, those attachments, things we haven't thought of, new purposes of use, et cetera. So, we think it's a great step to get internet, national exchange, right, going internet-wide as opposed to it being within individual networks. And it should be fun. I encourage everybody looking for QHINs. First of all, pick something already, right? Get moving, figure out what the differentiators are and how they fit within your workflow, within your business model, within your comfort, whether it be pricing, whether it be data treatment, caching, whatever it is, and the tools they have. Go figure it out, because we are a little bit different, and it's worth taking a look.
Hey everyone, we're here at the ONC annual meeting. Our guest is Justin McMartin from Surescripts. Welcome, Justin.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell us, what's your reaction to the QHIN announcement?
We're obviously very excited to hear about the Qualified Health Information Networks being designated. Obviously, hats off to the folks who have been doing all the work there. We understand, what it takes to be able to build an interoperability network like that, and we're excited to join them here, and hopefully not too long, to bring kind of our experience and power of exchanging 21.7 billion transactions like we did in 2022.
Awesome. And tell us, what's something that people don't understand about QHINs?
Yeah, I think the thing that people don't understand about QHINs is just that, there's a lot of opportunities for us to continue to expand this. This is the base level of what we need to do to create interoperability. And so we're going to need to continue advancing on what they're doing. I think some of the things that we've heard at the ONC annual meeting here are great opportunities for all of that. Discussions about public health, discussions about engagement with other federal agencies. But in addition to that, we really are going to need to perfect some of those things that are happening in the QHIN space. Patient matching is clearly an area where we're experts and have experience, and we want to be able to bring that to the table as we approach the Qualified Health Information Network. And then ultimately, I think we're all going to be very surprised by how fast this transition happens. And so ensuring that the folks who are not there yet are out there looking and asking, how can I get to be part of a Qualified Health Information Network?
Awesome. Thanks, Justin.
All right, thanks.